My name is Justin Keogh. I'm a board member of the Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth. I live in Tucson. I'm a physics student. And it is my honor to introduce the man of the week, the man of the summer, Blair Gadspy, who sat out in front of John McCain's office for 17 days.
Very much so. Wow. I guess the only thing I can say leading up to introducing Richard is thank you for the support that the town gave me. I really felt as though folks rallied around me as I did my vigil for those 17 days out in front of Mr. McCain's office there. There were a few gentlemen three really made sure that I was never alone. And two of them are here tonight, Rick and Larry. I really want to make a special effort to thank them. They helped make it happen, and there was another gentleman, John, who's not here tonight, but nevertheless, there was a development as of yesterday. Mr. McCain was asked, he was at Xavier University in Ohio, and somebody from We Are Change, Ohio asked him a question, a two-part question, what he thought of the impeachment resolutions, and his answer was he didn't support them. And then this gentleman went on to ask Mr. McCain regarding the hunger strike that took place out in front of his office. Now, keep in mind, it was over for 2 weeks by the time this gentleman asked the question. But nevertheless, Mr. McCain kind of fumbled a little bit and said that, yes, he was aware that there was a professor who had been hunger striking, but that he had ended his hunger strike. And the fellow said, well, did you meet with him? And he said, no, I didn't meet with him. He says, I don't take too kindly to threats. And I didn't. That was a very puzzling response, because I made it very clear the entire 17 days that I never accused Mr. McCain of anything. I never once insinuated that he was part of this cover-up. And remember, the heart of the protest was his writing this forward to the Popular Mechanics' defense of the 9/11 Commission report. So I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt, which I think I was able to maintain through that entire vigil. And to hear him say that it was a threat, well, we can only read into that what that might imply. I suspect that when a non-violent action such as a hunger strike is viewed as a threat, there must be something that is standing on very flimsy ground. And I suspect that that is the official story of what happened on September 11th. Just say one more thing. I felt it was very important for our movement to come out and make, I guess, the foremost non-violent statement to something like a hunger strike. I was never suicidal. It was never my intention to die. We are rational people. We are not fanatics. And I've been very disheartened to hear in the mainstream media, Geraldo Rivera, for example, say that after a small device blew up in Manhattan, and that it would be something that these 9/11 truthers would do. I saw red that day. As angry as I'm capable of getting, I just couldn't believe these words were coming out of his mouth. And then, maybe many of you here are aware of what Richard Gage had to sit and defend himself when the Simon Wiesenthal Center and Mark Weitzman testified before our Congress, saying that the A&E 9/11 Truth website, which is the presentation Richard's going to give to you tonight, that it was up there with a bunch of jihadi websites, violent websites. I mean, websites that promote death and dismemberment and attacking innocent people. This was an outrage, and as Richard went on the record and said, this is a libelous slander. So I felt our movement needed, and because the ingredients were there, he was our senator, my senator, so I felt that I had a personal connection here to make this appeal, that we had to make a powerful statement of nonviolence, and what better opportunity than the hunger strike. So without further ado, I hope that it's clear to the world now, and Mr. McCain himself is aware of this, that at the very highest levels of our government, they've seen Richard Gage's DVD. They have this information, and all we can do is sit and wait and see how they are going to respond to it.
Ms. Karen Johnson. advocating and the 9/11 truth, which is extremely important. So right here in Phoenix, Arizona, she is lighting a fire that will grow across America. You have an incredible opportunity to support her in the local newspapers, radio, and in every other way that you can. She is also one of the few senators who's willing to stop the North American Union, stop the implementation of the Real ID Act, track psychotropic drugs and suicides, and stop the reauthorization of the so-called No Child Left Behind Act. Senator Karen Johnson. We need a whole lot more people in elected office like Senator Karen Johnson, a Republican.
If I could just say something for a minute, I want to tell you how grateful I am that all of you took your time to come here tonight. This was very involved. Richard did an absolutely fabulous job. Please, please get this material and pass it along to your friends. We've got to get this message out. We are at such a critical juncture in our country today. I mean, when Richard talks about what he just told you, the fact that there could be some other things coming down the pike here, he's not kidding. You guys, we are in some very, very terrifically terrible times, and we have got to wake up our fellow citizens. We have just got to. Blair, I am so grateful to see you again. You guys, this is my hero here in the Phoenix area, Blair Gadspy. Richard, thank you. We're so grateful to have him here over on the east side of the valley so that we can come and enjoy some of these things like the west side gets to every now and then. So thank you again so much for being here.
My name is Bob Stapleton. I didn't know about this thing. A friend of mine actually told me about it yesterday, and I said, sure, we'll go. I've been quite a student of this stuff, ever since it started, and I do think the country's in an awful bad shape. Curiously enough, I have something to add, which conjoins with what you're talking about here. I have a friend who is in the railroad business, and there are only about a dozen people in the country who do what she does, which is they're salvers. They arrange for the siding of cars to take salvaged steel out everywhere. She told me in passing some time ago that all the contracts for the removal of the steel from this project were signed weeks before it occurred.
The contracts for the salvaging of the steel from the World Trade Center were signed weeks before 9/11? Wow. That's really important information.
And the arrangement for the rail travel and all, they were bidding against each other for the rail cars.
Wow. I'm hoping you'll help me document that. I'll put that right in the presentation. This is really important.
I'll give you my information.
Thank you. I'll give you my card. Next question.
Wow, if that's true.